Hi stamping friends, it's Marilyn here with Stamping Creations with Marilyn, coming to you today to share a waterfall card with you. It's been quite a while since I made one of these and I thought it was probably time to share it with my friends. So hopefully you can join me. I am going to tell you a few things about what's happening in the Stampin' Up! World, as well as my life, of course, because that affects everything that I'm doing. So I'm going to switch you down to the desktop in a minute. I have this card to share that I'll just hold it up here and then I'll show you. Received in the mail today. Thank you, Karen Y. Awesome, awesome card. Beautifully done as always, and such a treat to receive happy mail. And the prizes for this week, I will be sending this card that I made out to someone who has commented from last week. And the one who has shared from last week, I'm going to send you half a package of the gold-edged cards and envelopes that are no longer available. So that's a real treat for you. Also want to share with you, sorry, I'm in and out of the camera there reaching for things, a kit that I am going to be putting together to sell online. Not the actual products, but how to do this. So it's a kit that holds 4 cards and envelopes. So watch for that in my up and coming blog posts, social media posts, newsletter, all those kind of things. So the next things I will show you on my desktop. I am going to turn the camera around and switch you down and try not to make things too jiggly. So let's try that. And there's my desktop with a bunch of shadows on it. And I don't know if you noticed, as I went that way, there was a screen up on my iPad. There you can see it. I have the names in here of everyone who shared my video last week, and I'm going to use this fancy little wheel of names to draw the winner. So all you have to do once the names are in there is hit this. It's not very loud, but just listen, listen, listen. There you go. Karen, thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing. So if you do share, I ask that you please let me know, because some of the security settings in Facebook don't allow me to actually see who's done the sharing, and I do want to put your name in the draw. So thank you to everybody who has been doing that, and I ask that you continue. So Karen, I will be sending those cards and envelopes off to you shortly. And also on my computer, which I can't show you from the way I've got things set up, I'm going to be drawing for this card to go out to everybody who commented. Same wheel set up on my computer. I haven't figured out how to do it 2 times on my iPad, so I will click on that one, which I think you should be able to hear. And that winner is, listen for the sound. Judy W. So thank you, Judy, for commenting. So please continue to do so. I love hearing what you have to say and what else you would like to see. So, okay, to start off with, we have, as you may recall from last week, Designer Series paper is on sale for the whole month of October. 15 different packages, and I thought maybe today it would be wise to show you in a bit more detail. When I get my designer paper, I like to see all of it laid out. So these are front and back of each sheet, a list of all the colors that coordinate with it. So I'll just quickly go through those. Artistry Blooms, 'Tis the Season, 6x6. So lots of different choices there for Christmas season. Forever Greenery, One of the favorites out of the catalog, one of my favorites, and I'm not really a green lover, so that was a surprise. For that, the Poinsettia Place designer paper has some soft suede in it, plus lots of different poinsettia and holly Christmas colors. Trimming the Town, words to cut out, houses to cut out. I just want to show you while I'm on that one. Here's a card that I made recently with my Friday Zoom class, and I cut out the houses and put on there. So great possibilities with that one. Plaid Tidings is plaid, as you can see, and not just a Christmas selection in this. There are lots of fall colors, some of the burgundies and whatever. So again, a great package. Toil Tidings is the reds and greens, but it has scenery as well as stripes and squares. Heartwarming Hugs. Got that one called Specialty, but I don't think it is because there's no shiny foils in that one. And that one is on sale, and the specialty bundles are not on sale. The Snowflake Splendor DSP, beautiful, beautiful colors. You may have seen a sample I did last week, I believe, with that pop-up box, had that. In Good Taste is a huge bundle, so it took 2 pages. Just trying to show you some of the colors there. Again, more of earthy tones, bricks, lots of different possibilities. Playing with Patterns. One that I wasn't too keen on to begin with, but I've used it a lot in cards where you cut the designer paper at different angles and use it. Peony Garden. Just basic gray, gray granite, petal pink, and white, but beautiful, beautiful selections. And Playful Pets has your cats, dogs, words, and Wheel of Time. So that's another 6x6 with lots of color choices and designs in that one to use. So if you're interested in that, just keep it in mind for the month of October. It will be there for you. So today I am going to show you how to make a card like this. This is called a waterfall card because as you pull, the squares slide like a waterfall. I made some of these a long time ago and hadn't for a while, so thought it was time again. I can't remember the lady. It was a Split Coast Stampers gal that I found most of the design for. I've changed it up a little bit, and this is not exactly what we're going to be making. I used the Banner Year stamp set for the pumpkin, the little squirrel, and I do have Wink of Stella on the acorns. The Happy Fall Y'all, which is, you'll notice, is straight across here, but I stamped it and cut it out so I could put it on one of the smaller squares. So lots of possibilities with something like this. And I know in the past when I've made this, kids especially, and sometimes even us adults, like to play with the card like this. So I thought it was kind of a neat thing. And I'm not quite ready to give up fall yet, as you can see by the colors. We haven't had snow here in Spruce Grove, Alberta yet this year. So I am very thankful for that. Thankful for my family, the few that I did spend the day with for Thanksgiving, as I presume all of you were staying safe and social distancing, all that kind of thing. So glad that you can join me here today. So I will start by laying out my pieces I have. I will, after the video's done, I will put all of the sizes in the description of the video. But for now, these are what we'll need. And I've switched up the colors just a bit from here. I've taken the mint macaron out of here and used it for my background instead of that. Whoops. So, Try not to lose the pieces as I'm doing this. My colors, I have one for the card base of 8.5 by 5.5. I have one for this bar across, that's all I'm going to call it, at 4 by 3/4. The 9 by 2 with many score lines is the piece that causes the waterfall. Then I have 4 2 by 2 squares that I'm going to use. And on this one, instead of stamping a lot of them, I have 4 pieces of designer paper from that same package. And that is this specialty Gilded Autumn specialty designer paper. So it does have some foil in it and whatever, so that one's not on sale. I have stamped from that stamp set Your Sweet and cut it out with a stitched die. I have designer paper that I'm going to use 5 by 3 3/4. That will be for the back. I have 4 of these very vanilla squares that are going to be part of all of this. And then I do have a piece for behind the designer paper and a piece for inside in the 5 1/4 by 4, which again is our standard. So I will bring in my paper trimmer because I need to score this piece. So this 9 by 2 is going to be scored at 2 inches. Quit shaking the table. 2 3/4, 3 1/2, and 4 1/4. And I think that's all the scoring that I need. Save that paper in case I need to do this again. I will bring in my crash bang. And I'm just going to fold that on the score lines. So this is making our waterfall attachment piece. So that's going to go like that in the card. I do need to score my base. And sometimes I use the scoring tool, sometimes I don't. I do always make sure that it is lined up on the edges, even if I use the score tool. So I have that. I will have my base to go on it. Can you see? Yeah. Then I will have my designer paper. And I'm going to glue those together right away. In the instructions I found on Split Coast, they were put on there quite a while ago, and they were suggesting that you use brads to attach this strip. And if you've been around Stampin' Up! Recently, you know that we no longer have those. So to make it stick, I used tear and tape on the ends of this 4 by 1 3/4. And I'm going to, do you love how I use a ruler? Just going to move that one down just a little bit more. I'm going to place it right about there. So up about an inch, I would say. If you're still in the camera, if I'm still in the camera with my instructions, I find that even on these small pieces, I like to use the scissors to cut the tear and tape. I have just tucked my finger there and tore it off, but I find sometimes that it takes a piece of the cardstock with it, so I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to peel that off. piece of adhesive over the edge there. And I'm just going to place that, I don't know, no rhyme or reason really. Should have had it over a little bit farther. Okay, so that, you can see how different, same paper, but they sure look different, don't they? So again, I will adhere that, and then we're going to make our waterfall or make our waterfall on the card. If I can remember. Did I? Oh, right. Like I said, long time since I made one of these and it was hard to remember. So you end up putting the underneath piece on and then gluing just this piece. Okay? Just that piece on there so that you can still pull it and it moves like that, but that piece stays put. So I am going to center it and do I want, you know what, let's try a piece of tear and tape across there too, or two. Well, but not too long. And if it doesn't work, so tell me while you're waiting and watching. Well, this isn't the favorite part of card making. You'd like to be doing it yourself, and maybe you are. I did give you some measurements to begin with. So if you are, great. And I do hope that if you make a card like this, you will share it in the comments below the video. So there is my waterfall. Then what I need is my mint macaron pieces, which are the 2x2s. And for those, this bottom one you do want to, you can glue entirely, but the rest of them you have to watch. So while you're waiting, what I started to ask was, let me know what you did for Thanksgiving. Were you able to get outside at all wherever you are living? We did manage to go for a bit of a walk, but oh, the wind was cold yesterday. And I was out this morning. Sun was shining somewhat, but temperature only at 6 degrees Celsius here. So you see I'm only putting glue, and I should check. Make sure it's going to do what it's supposed to. I have learned from a good friend of mine to always, if you're doing something like this, and you don't have anybody's instructions to follow and you think, oh, I could do that, try it with just what we call computer paper or scrap paper, you know, like your grid sheet or whatever, to cut up some of the old stuff and try it first. And then you won't be wasting cardstock if for some reason it's not quite the way it's supposed to be. So there are my base layers. I don't know why it's crooked. Maybe I mounted it crooked or mounted that. Anyway, so it's going to work as such. So then I'm going to mount my designer paper pieces on the Very Vanilla, which is my background color. and then decide which way I want them to go. And because these squares are square, it doesn't matter if I put it this way or this way at this point. Of course, when you look at this kind of designer paper, it will matter when you go to mounting it on the, now that one I want this paper. I did have a plan, honest. But, as you know, when you're making card and putting things together, sometimes those plans change. So, when you use the designer paper from the same package, you certainly know that it is all going to coordinate. That's why I use liquid glue. Look at that. I could move that around. Okay, so on my, I am going to mount this one on the bottom. Then I want to alternate my glimmer paper and that. So, but instead of that one being there, maybe I'll put that one down there so it doesn't look, yeah, so it's showing up a little bit more. So then I would put these on, and you can glue them totally, because you know that this is going to work. So in order to do it, I would do that. So yes, now Thanksgiving's over. I know everybody is maybe starting to think Halloween. Again, this year will probably be different for us, won't it? Do you have any great suggestions as to what to do with your kids or grandkids so they can enjoy the occasion, and for handing out the treats? I've seen, and you probably have too on Facebook, some people being very innovative with mounting a piece of PVC pipe on the railing so that the candies can go down from the top of the railing to the bottom, kind of thing, and you're still maintaining that social distance. Thought that was kind of a cute idea. Personally here, I suspect that we will not have many trick-or-treaters coming around. So there is my waterfall. Ooh, that's not very straight, but you know how to do straight. So that would be it. Then I will put another piece on the inside just to make sure that you can see the writing that I would put on it. And you could certainly stamp on there if you wanted to. There are, we have another Halloween-y kind of treat so sweet, haunting from all of us if you were doing, or happy fall y'all like I put on that other one. The only other piece to finish it off is, maybe leave that under there, is the ribbon that I put in here. And I chose this copper ribbon from the Basket Metallic Weave combo, which is part of that suite with that gilded paper. And it's fine, so I can put it through. And I no longer have a small hole punch, but I do still have my crocodile. So that is what I used to punch the hole in here. And just eyeball it. This tool, you may have one. I don't know if you can still buy them. not from Stampin' Up, but around. It was used for eyelets here and hole punching and different sizes there. So I punched the hole, then I was able to thread my ribbon through. And you know, I think this hole punch, well, this is maybe a bit smaller, but I have an office hole puncher tool that I've had from way back when, and I think it would work as well if you don't have something like that, or if you didn't keep one of the handheld punches we had. So there would be my card. I would, if mailing it, which I do most of them, I would probably fold this up when it goes in the envelope, just because, or fold it down, whichever. And I think I did on this one, put a little glue dot in behind to keep it from coming undone. But let me know what you think. Not very time consuming to put this card together. As you saw, once all the pieces are cut, you don't have to do stamping like on this one. A little bit more involved with the stamping and the words. I have done them in the past with small pictures, and that is well appreciated as well. You could, if you had a 4-letter word that you could put on a card, as in baby, you could put letters down, and that would be kind of a neat to see it, especially if a child, like I have, my daughter's 3 children all have 4-letter names, and I could do their names, and then they would certainly know it was their card, but they would also have fun opening and closing it and doing that kind of thing with it. So as I said in the beginning, please leave me comments, leave me notices that you've shared this video, and I will put your name in a draw for next week. Not sure what I've got in my tickle trunk to share with you, but it will be something. Keep an eye out for my newsletter for different classes coming up, and also on my social media. Been working lots with that and totally enjoying it, so hopefully you'll join me and let me know how you make out. I'd love to see your cards posted below in the comments. Thank you.